The proposed Keystone pipeline would start in Hardisty, Alberta, Canada, and continue to Steel City, Nebraska, then stop to relieve pressure in Cushing, Oklahoma, and come to its end in Houston, Texas.
To build or not to build the 1,700-mile Keystone XL pipeline, which would carry Canadian oil from the northern border to American refineries on the Gulf Coast. The answer should be obvious when you consider that the U.S. spends $1 million a minute on OPEC oil, and that pipelines have a proven track record of being the safest and most economical means of transporting oil and natural gas.
If you design it right, you build it right, you get the right contractors, then you don't have any problem. You'll have a 100-year pipeline.
To demonstrate that those who would build the Keystone XL have the skills to successfully complete this critical work, the organization responsible for training them made its case. Pipeliners Local 798 of the union representing workers in the pipe trades invited the public in to witness the quality of its training and to hear how it will make the difference.
First of all, I'd tell them there's not a better qualified or trained pipeline workforce in the world. We are the best. We are pipeliners. That's what we do. That's all we do.
They're held to a standard that nobody else is held to. Most of these lines are 100% X-ray.
The United States currently spends almost $1/2 trillion a year on oil from OPEC nations. Some say that helps to finance the other side in the Iraq and Afghanistan conflicts. Canada, on the other hand, is a proven ally and partner with common goals and values. Oil from Keystone XL is projected to reduce consumption from OPEC by 12 to 15%.
As everybody knows, OPEC is not our friend. We're simply a cash register. They could turn it off on a whim, and they have in the past.
In the current economy, job creation is the top priority. Keystone XL will put people to work.
13,000 construction jobs immediately once this thing is signed would be literally started the next day.
Once the pipeline is built, then you turn around and people have to man to work for TransCanada themselves. So there's going to be, hundreds and hundreds of jobs just on that one project.
Not just jobs, it's generating tax revenue and it's generating income for everybody along the route.
Supporters of Keystone XL say it is the best way to ensure that America addresses current energy needs while making the transition to alternative energy that is sustainable and green.
It's not a light switch, but by stabilizing our economy, by providing jobs, by assuring that we have a reliable source of energy, we can transition to that technology and we can transition to the alternative sources of energy that are our future. They are our future. But we have to get from here to there.
During its event, Local 798 also introduced Jeff Bailey, representing T. Boone Pickens and the Pickens Plan for Energy Independence, who stressed the importance of natural gas in also aiding that transition to the future.
Depending upon which study you want to believe, it's somewhere between 100 and a 400-year supply.
The major corporation behind the development of the Keystone Pipeline is TransCanada, along with other investors such as Exxon, Shell, and ConocoPhillips.
$3.4 million. That is the number of lost jobs since President Barack Obama took office in January of 2009. If the loss holds through this presidency, it will mark the first time since the data became available that the country lost jobs during the full tenure of a president. The strength of the Keystone Pipeline will help dearly, generating billions of dollars toward economic recovery, create 20,000 new construction jobs, and help reduce America's dependence on overseas oil. The project would also benefit states and local communities at a time of record budget deficits. Investments in all of these projects will create over 500,000 jobs in the U.S. by 2035.
The typical weaknesses are environmental concerns, but in the midst of an election year, we're bound to have political hiccups as well. Obama once made a statement in regards to oil consumption not affecting him since he did not own a car. And he originally declined the entire Keystone pipeline when it was first brought up. Then realized, hey, I can gain some votes if I let part of it through in Texas. One concern with the pipeline was brought up by the Global Labor Institute of Cornell University, saying that the possibility of a spill from the Keystone pipeline outweighs the benefit of any jobs created from building the pipeline. And of course, Nebraska didn't like the pipeline because it would disrupt their entire environmental activity.
The Keystone Pipeline would be a vulnerable terrorist target because of the combustible crude it would be transporting. America's energy system is the Achilles heel of the West. The route travels through the heart of the United States.
The United States and Canada enjoy the largest trading partnership across the longest peaceful border in the world. Getting more U.S. energy from a friendly North American neighbor would reduce U.S. reliance on energy resources from less stable regions, create American jobs, while enhancing domestic energy and national security. The Keystone XL pipeline expansion would provide a significant boost to U.S. energy security, bringing an extra 830,000 barrels of oil per day to U.S. refineries. With the pipeline, our crude imports from Canada could reach 4 million barrels a day by 2020, twice what we currently import from the Persian Gulf.